Hello everyone, my name is Kimia Andrew and I'm the pattern tutor. On today's video, I'm going to show you how I draft my basic skirt block. Now I had this intention to make this skirt for an event I was attending last month. And well, the skirt didn't turn out the way that I liked. So this skirt here was what I wanted to make for the event, but it didn't turn out the way that I liked. I did not like the entire outfit. I basically made this entire outfit, but I wasn't really happy with it. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to drop the video for you. I had like a whole entire new fit. This was my new fit, and yeah, I'm just going to show you how I draft my basic skirt block, and let's get on with it. So I've already drawn out my margin lines on the top of my paper and by the side of my paper, and where they intersect I mark as point A. That's my starting line. So we'll start by marking point A to B. So from point A to B is my hip measurement, which is 102 cm divided by 2, which will give me 51 cm. So I'm going to mark A to B as 51 cm. Next, I'll mark my skirt length. Now my skirt length, I usually would take the measurement from my waist to my knee, and in this situation it was 62 cm. So my skirt length A to C, 62 cm. So you mark that as C, and after marking that, you would square out towards you would square out for your hem. So you square it out in the same direction as B goes. Now to keep my line straight over a longer distance, I would just measure the same measurement on the other side. So from B, I would measure down the same 53 cm that gave me A to C, and I will connect the C to that point. So 53 cm down from B and 53 cm down from A to C. So from B straight down, from C they will connect, and where they intersect I will mark as point D. Now after creating this rectangle, the left side of our rectangle becomes our center back, and the right side of this rectangle becomes our center front. Now I'm going to divide my measurement into two parts, so it's not going to be equal parts, as my back is going to be bigger than my front because of the bum. So my back is bigger than my front by half an inch, which converting to centimeters is 1.3 cm. So I'm going to divide my 51 cm by 2, which is 25.5 cm, and then I will add 1.3 cm to that, so that would be 26.8 cm. So 26.8 cm is where I'll mark E, and I'll also square that measurement down to the hem. Next, I'm going to mark my hip line. So my hip level is 22 cm from my natural waist. So from A, I'll mark down 22 cm for my hip line, that's point F, and then at B, I'll also mark down 22 cm, that's point G. So I'll connect F and G to get my hip level line. Next, I'm going to mark my above knee level. So usually this measurement is taken from my natural waist to my knee level minus 20 cm. So you could either just measure up from your knee level by 20 cm, or you can just take that measurement and mark from A down to that point. So from A to H is 42 cm for me. I'm also going to transfer that same measurement from B to I, and connecting H and I will give me the line for my above knee level. Now that we've gotten all of our levels, the next thing we're going to move on to is to create darts. So that's our waist suppression. We're going to suppress the waist to create darts for our skirt. First, we're going to start by marking our upper hip line. So my upper hip line is the midway between my natural waist and my hip line. So A to F is my waist to my hip line, divided by 2. It's 22 cm divided by 2, which is 11 cm. I'm going to mark that as point J, and I'll do the same procedure from B to G, divided by 2, and that mark will be point K. Next is the calculation for our total waist suppression. For this calculation, we'll need our hip measurement divided by 2, our waist measurement divided by 2, which will now give us a total difference of 17 cm. This 17 cm difference will now be divided into 4 groups. So we have 2 cm for our center back, which you can use between 1.5 to 2.5 cm. For the front dart and the back dart, I usually would have a 1 cm difference. So my front dart is 3 cm, my back dart is 4 cm. The back dart is bigger because you have your bum at the back. And then for my side seam, which takes in most of my measurements, is 8 cm. This is because I have a much smaller waist than my hip, and I have this like protrusion at the sides of my body, so I have shape at the sides of my body. That's basically all I'm saying. So depending on what the body type you're working with, that's how you would divide all of these measurements by. But you can use this 1 cm difference between your front and back dart, 1 or 2 cm difference between your front and back dart. Your center back has 1.5 to 2.5 cm, and then your side seam takes the rest. Now for my point A, I'm going to mark 2 cm inwards for my center back, and from that 2 cm, I'm going to square up a measurement of 1 cm. So I'm lifting my back waistline by 1 cm at the center back. That will be point L. Next, I'll connect point L to J with a curved line. Next, for our side seam suppression, so from point E, I'm going to mark towards the center back half of my side seam suppression. So my side seam suppression is 8 cm, half of that is 4 cm. So I'm going to mark 4 cm, that's going to be my point M. And from point M, I'm going to square up by 1.5 cm. So I'm lifting my waistline by 1.5 cm. Now connect point M and L with a slanted line. Now using your hip curve, connect point M to the hip line. It might not reach the hip line intersecting point line E and FG, but it should get close and the curve should be nice and smooth. Next, from point E again, mark half of your side seam suppression. So again, that's 4 cm. So from E towards your center front this time around, mark 4 cm. That will be marked as point N, and then you will square that up also by 1.5 cm. Using a hip curve as well, connect point N to your hip. Now to finish up our front waist, connect point N to B with a diagonal line. Next, you measure point L to M and divide that by 2. That's going to be the position for the middle dart leg at the back. After marking that position, you would square down to the upper hip line and extend it by 2 cm beyond the upper hip line. Now you mark half of your back dart suppression on each side of the line at the waistline. So my back dart suppression is 4 cm, so I'm going to mark 2 cm on either side of the line. Then I'll connect them back like an arrow to the tip of the line. That becomes your back dart. Now for the front darts, we're going to take the measurements of line B to N and also divide that by 2 and find the midpoint. Now when you find the midpoint, you will square the line down to the upper hip line. So this means that your back dart is going to be longer than your front dart by 2 cm. After you square the line, you mark half of your front dart suppression on either side of this line. So my front dart suppression is 3 cm, half of that is 1.5 cm, so I'm going to mark 1.5 cm on either sides of the line and then connect it back to the tip of the line, creating my front dart. Now to finish up our skirt block, what I'm going to do is to true my dart leg. So this is to make sure that my waistline balances. I wouldn't have like steps showing when I sew my waist dart. So you fold over your dart legs, longer leg over to shorter leg, and then you just blend your waistline and use your tracing wheel to true. I'll do that for my front and my back dart. So this is my skirt block. I absolutely hope that you enjoyed this video and you were able to follow along. And remember that you can just trace this onto like a harder board, so maybe like a cheaper board or a cardboard, so that you can keep your blocks for much longer. Using paper, the paper is quite fragile, so it might tear and all of that, so make sure you do that. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to comment. I look forward to your questions and your comments. But yeah, my next video I'm going to work on showing you how you can make this a pencil skirt, so you can do that with this block as well. And I also will be dropping my measurement video, how I take my measurements, so that it will be more understandable to understand what these positions are and how to get this position. So looking forward to dropping more videos. I'm so sorry that my video droppings are not very consistent. I'm really working on that to make sure that I drop them on either Thursdays or Fridays. I'm really working on that and make sure that I work hard and I stick to it. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.